Hello guys. So like I did promise that we bring you various content on experts who live in Czech Republic. However, today we did delve into culture. This has been a topic that we have been wanting to talk about for a very long time. Our guest didn't have much time. She is a spiritualist, so she didn't have much time, but today, lucky on our part, we have her with us here, and we will be going to talk about a topic burning the witches in Czech Republic. Guys, let's go. Okay, so we have our guest here with us. Our guest is Petra, and she's a spiritualist, right? I guess that's the correct word, right? Because she does tarot readings as well as using natural.
I'm an energetic
healer. So that's the word. So she will be taking us through the tradition, that Czech tradition, burning the witch. So, Madam Petra, if you can introduce yourself. I don't know if maybe my introduction was already done.
I think it was done.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it about this burning the witch in Czech Republic?
Well,
is it that they are burning people or just...
Well, the tradition goes way back. Mm-hmm. This tradition is actually on the 30th of April, every year.
Okay.
And it's called Burning Witches, but it has a tradition way back when the Celts were here.
Okay.
It was called Beltane. And it was more of an event where everything what was old was burned.
Okay.
And because of this tradition, they were welcoming new. Because on the 1st May, there's like a new blossom of the nature and of like new life.
Okay.
With this Beltane ceremony, it was also that people just went to forest to make love, and it was really like pure celebration of life.
Okay, something like a purification, or maybe something like a...
Yes, it was because the winter was ending, so they just burned everything what the winter was, bringing, and they wanted to start new life with the 1st of May.
Oh, okay. So that's how it started.
Yes, that's how it started, and of course, in the time of, I think it was maybe like 16th century.
Okay.
Because in Czech Republic, or in the actual region of the Czech Republic, there were many women, especially, who did some like witchcraft, but they were more healers and, these people who give birth naturally and...
So like a traditional birth attendants, for instance, in my part of the world, we call them traditional birth attendants because we have two choices of a health system. Mm-hmm. There are people who usually give birth at home. So we have people who are actually, who are experienced and know how to, to help people to deliver. So we call them traditional birth attendants there. So in your part of the world, people like that were considered as witches?
No, not at the beginning. At the beginning, they were just women who used herbs, and they were actually using all the natural remedies to help people. And of course, for some, they were also doing a little witchcraft, like they were, wanting to attract some love to someone, like these little things.
It's really not anything that is connected with causing harm or
no.
person.
They did not want to cause harm, but actually the story, the oldest story is that I think it was in the 16th century. Historics will really excuse me because I don't know really the exact time. But there was a story that one woman, she was like she had this bar, this pub.
Okay.
And she wanted to get rid of her concurrents. This, like, how you call it?
Concubines?
The people who wanted to have also...
competitors.
Competitors, yes. Okay. She wanted to get rid of these competitors. So she actually used some kind of a witchcraft to really get rid of those people.
Prevent the people from setting up similar.
Yes.
Okay.
To have the success and everything.
Oh, okay.
So this was the first case that a witch was burned, because the punishment was that she was burned.
Death. Okay, she's supposed to be burnt.
She was burned.
Oh, so it's happening.
As a punishment, yes.
Oh, okay. See, that was cruel.
But next to this is also other story, and it comes with all these women who wanted to help with all these remedies. But of course, the church, the Christian church, they were kind of afraid of this feminine power, because of course in that time only female did this remedy things. They were afraid of them, so they started to call them witch, that they are witches, and they started to burn them.
So there were men who were involved in such practices?
No. Men were never healing or using herbs. No.
As a form of healing process?
No.
Men were really?
Oh, they were only women. Women was there, like using herbs and using all remedies to help people.
Oh, okay.
It was the job of women.
So that is why it became associated with women, and then people were persecuted, because if they realize that a woman is able to do something, then she's been persecuted and considered and being seen as a witch.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But then, of course, in the time, it spread a little bit, because it was so easy to say, no, you are a witch. So you have different.
Someone that you don't like, you can easily point, okay, this person is a witch, and then the person.
That was happening. That actually you didn't like someone, or exactly you didn't want them to be in the field of, I don't know, love or something. It was your concurrent, and you pointed, this is a witch, or he is actually doing this dark magic, and they were also burning other people.
And have you also realized, if maybe you could just, I don't know if you have idea about it, in the time past, most of the people that have been accused of being witches are usually the poor people, because the rich people, the rich women in the community were not accused of that. Why?
Well, actually, I'm not sure about if it was only poor people, because I think that at certain point, even the wealthy women were burnt.
Were burnt?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. Again, the historical.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm saying this is that we have incidents in my country in the time past. Not even some of these days you could hear people accuse others as witches, but you hardly hear someone accuse a rich person or a rich woman as a witch. It's only that the poor people, like the poor women, sometimes, people have health issues sometimes. For instance, an old person who is suffering from dementia.
Yeah.
It's easy for someone to be able to attack such a person, because the person is unable to say something, or is able to just says a word that he or she doesn't even understand. Then the person is labeled as witch. So at times you find people who are innocent but being accused. So I don't know if maybe you're part of the world, because if there were rich people who were also being accused of that, because for me, I know that I've never seen a rich woman who has been accused of being a witch before. It's only the poor women, old, and usually most of the time they're even old, and they're not even young, they are usually old. And then, because for me, when people are old and sometimes they lose that kind of because it's aging is a process, and at a point in time you lose even your sense of reasoning others. So it's something that you talk in a way. So the way people talk, sometimes one can just say, okay, yeah, she said this, and maybe something like this happened, so it means she did this.
Well, to be honest, I don't think it was.
You've heard that things like,
because this was really like in 16th century.
Okay, so that's quite long.
And it was mostly done by the church, by the Christian church.
I see.
It was called, and I don't know the exact English word, but it was Inquisition.
Inquisition, yeah.
And Yeah.
But I thought the Inquisition only happened in Spain.
No.
It was the Spanish Inquisition where they realized that the Catholic Church realized that they are losing power because at that point in time they realized that it became a huge competition between people who do not believe and people who have some kind of different kind of belief. So they wanted everyone to become a Catholic. So when because the church was too powerful, and some people felt that the church power was too much, and the church wanted to regain its power, so they decided to do this kind of inquisition.
Well, I believe that Inquisition is actually about showing power, because if you burn someone because of she is doing some like black magic, as it was called, then you gain power, because then people get scared.
Yeah, but the issue is that because it was a competition between the church. It was a competition between the Catholic Church and also the people who believe in what we call spirituality.
Here it was only that people, I mean the women, they just did what they know to do for ages.
Then they were just persecuted because they know that because of what they.
I do believe that the church was scared of the feminine power, because
is it only about feminine power? It's just about the entirely. Look, it's politics. The church was losing power. That is the only thing. The church was losing the power. It's not only about just feminine issue, but the church was losing power, and the church didn't want to have a competition.
But if you look at our history, where I was talking about the tradition, about the Beltane, it was Celts do call it Beltane, but it was about burning fires on the 30th of April. And then the people enjoyed life. They also wanted to prevent not having having marriages without children. So they just went to make love in the forests. This was the freedom of the people. And the church didn't like that, of course. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it.
But then I don't know exactly where it happened, because I don't really know, because there's so many different stories going around. But it was really that the church didn't like that there was the freedom. The women had the freedom to do something.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So then they started to impose such laws and indicate. Yeah. Wow, I see. And that was a very difficult moment in the history of womanhood, I guess, because based on what you're saying, it's like women were the only people who were being treated that way. I said, based on what you said, it means that it was only women who were taken through that kind of horrible ordeal.
Then in the time of being, of course, there were also men who were accused of a dark magic because of any reasons. Then at the time later, it did not matter why. It just, I have the power, so I can accuse anyone and I just have to prove that that's truth. And that was it. That was the only thing what was happening then.
So how will one prove that someone is a witch?
Okay, actually there's a film, how it's called now? In Czech, it's Hon na čarodějnice. It's like I will give you the English name later, because I don't know right now. But it's really about that time. And then there in the film is also shown that if a woman had some like birthmark, a big black birthmark, she was accused of a witch.
I see. Then.
It was like these little things really made you, she's a witch.
Yeah, but all of us could understand that during it was dark ages. For me, I would say so. It is easy for someone to use something like that. But today you can just say, because by the mere fact that I have this or I have this on me, means that I'm like this.
Now, of course, today it's not like that. But we were talking about this tradition. Yeah. And so this is the history, let's say, brief history.
Brief history.
And it actually lives still now. That's why it's called burning witches, because on the fire, there's this maquette of the witch. It's like from old clothes and everything.
So, because I saw some scarecrows. They build up with some clothing on something.
That's a witch. That's a witch which is burned on the 30th of April.
Oh, okay. So the witch is burned on the 30th of April. So this is like annual thing. So every year, everyone observes it. So does Christians also observe this based on the antecedent or based on the history of it? Because
I don't really know. The majority of Czech people are atheists, really.
the majority, I think so.
So I don't know really.
Do you even know a Christian? Do you even know somebody who is a Christian? Because
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I don't really care about the religion of other people. It does not.
There's one
for
thing
me,
I've realized in Czech.
I
like,
see.
well, like let me say 80% of the people are just atheists, and then
Yes,
they're
but
not majority. Actually.
look, for me, I don't care who believes in whatever. I see the people as people, so I don't care really.
I see. So, at what point in time did the burning of the witches or that kind of bad practices came to an end?
Well, I don't know exact time, but this Inquisition was in between the 15th and 18th century. So about around the 18th century, it ended, and in 19th century, the people were still like having this. They started to have this tradition, let's say.
Okay.
But because it was seen as a superstition,
yes, because
it was kind of it was kind of banned by the
by the law.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was forbidden to believe in superstition. So it was banned or like forbidden to use superstition as a form of judging someone being a witch.
Yeah, as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then, how come you you celebrate it like every year? It became a yearly ritual that you celebrate every year. Is it a form of transmitting or trying to explain or tell the younger generation about the Dark Ages? Or
well, yes, you might see it as that. It's a reminder, but there are these two streams, right?
Okay.
One is this remembering of the Dark Ages,
okay.
And the second is really like coming to the roots with the tradition, the Celts tradition.
Yeah.
Of
blossoming, the end of winter,
ending the winter with the burning,
the new season, and burning all old clothing and other stuff.
Yeah, so it's like two ways, but of course, because it's called burning the witches, it's more on the side of the Dark Ages.
I see, and that's good. So I guess these guys are. So what happened is that this kind of practice has now been preserved. Is to tell the younger generation some of the barbaric acts that did happen in the past, and also, like she said, also when we are beginning, like I will not say a new year, but at least a new farming season or a season with blossoming or beginning of a fresh year. So all clothing or old stuff have been burnt, and then to pave way for a new beginning or a new life, right?
Yeah. Also, like lands were burnt, so that it would be like fresh.
Fresh for animals to be able to graze, because there will be fresh grasses for animals to graze.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see. So kids who are born these days or who will be participating in such, some days will also be telling their case, in another generation, how the history came about. Because Petra, for instance, she was quite inquisitive. She told me. Of course, she did ask the mother, and the mother told her. So it's the same thing that she's going to tell her case, and then their case are also going to tell another. It's the same thing. Like today, I'm speaking about it. I'm also going to tell my case someday. Okay, this is how it started, and this is how it is, and then it's going to be like that. So that is what we call oral tradition when we are transmitting history. That's one source of history. Even though with time to time it gets fade out. However, it's still able to tell the entire story. And thank you so much for your time. And then now it was nice talking to you, and I really enjoy your insight on the topic. Now I would like to have you more often to talk about culture of Czech and some other practices in Czech Republic.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Hello guys, so please do share and subscribe to our channel, and then do also like our videos. Please, we need more subscribers. Ahoy!